Okay, hello. What you're seeing on the desk right now is a Sylvania TV. Now, this one, just like the others, I also got used. Again, none of these TVs that I'm getting are brand new, but this one we got used. So, anyway, so I'm gonna give you a little story on it and whatnot, and probably gonna see. So, now this TV isn't this particular TV used in this part, but a couple of years ago, one of my friends had like the exact same TV, like same brand, same everything, and this is, and they said that it was just switching inputs while they were using it, so it was having issues. When I went to test it, it was working just fine. So I think he was just the kid was just complaining because this was like one of my friends and he was younger at the time. I think he was just complaining because he wanted a bigger TV in his room. Which they had the TV. When this happened, they moved the TV from the guest room into his room. But honestly, they still have the remote control, and I'm probably gonna take that because I have the Sylvania TV, this Sylvania, and I have no remote to it. So. But anyway, on to the how I got this TV. So I got it from a resale store. I don't remember the name. It was not Goodwill. Goodwill's cool. I got the small LG, the Vizio, the AOC, which I no longer have. The Sharp. Those are the ones I got from Goodwill stores. This one I got from a different one. So anyway, we're gonna have a little look at it. So, just gonna move a little bit closer to you, to the TV here, not to you, and gonna look at the buttons down here. Now, this one has buttons right down here. You can kind of obviously see them. So you have the volume, the menu/setup, the channel, which actually controls the input, and the power button. So obviously, it's not gonna do it right now, considering the fact that I don't actually have it plugged in, but. Yeah, I just wanted to show you that. And then, also got a little sticker of claims. So, it's probably a thing where they had it in the store, obviously. They put the stickers on there just to show people what they actually have. But, being that this says HD TV, this one does in fact have a digital ATSC tuner. Which is actually a good thing, unlike the Samsung that I just showed you guys that does not. Which I find that really dumb. I'm like, why does this high-end TV company put no digital tuner on their TV for 2006, and an off-brand Scott does that? Like, that does like no sense to me whatsoever. I think Vizio has digital tuners from back in the day. But then again, Vizio's even dumber because more recently, they completely took away the tuners out of their TVs. So I'm kind of worried about calling a bit like a Vizio for that time period a TV, because of the fact that it might not have a tuner, so it might not even be a TV, it might just be a giant monitor. But I don't know what Vizio was up to, but they did that for some dumb reason. However, in all the 2018 models, I believe, I think that was 2017 that did that, I'm not quite sure. All the 2018 models have tuners in them. I think Vizio learned from a mistake and they instantly put it back in tuners, and people complain that they say that Vizio, when you buy the Vizio, we're buying a TV, they're buying a monitor. But anyway, so we're gonna look on this TV a little bit. Now, on this one, actually side inputs, which I'm actually gonna show you. This TV is actually so tiny. But okay, so on the side, we have the Silver's Turbo, which this is, well, the USB port is. Which I also don't know if it also has power or not. But I have to see later on. And then we have HDMI 2 in, which for a TV this one has two HDMI ports. Why does the Scott and Samsung only have one, even though those are older? The Vizio that's in regards from 2007 has two. So why can't Samsung do it with the TV from the year before? And then have the S video, and then we have the AV connections. And then we also have a headphone out, aka 3.5 millimeter, I meant audio out. Which most TVs have those. Like most of the smaller TVs have those. Now let's go on to the back side. So, before you look at a model number, which I'm showing you all want to see, I want to show you the inputs. So, have the VGA, obviously, which, see, the audio is audio in for right here. And then what do we have? Well, this right here is actually not AV connections. In fact, this is for HDMI 1 in if you're using DVI, which this is HDMI right here, HDMI 1. This is for if you're using DVI or a signal or a separate signal processing port from the HDMI. So this is audio in. This is not audio out. This is audio out, which is coaxial. I know, confusing, isn't it? But then we have the component in ports, which for the component in, these are the audio ports. I know it's confusing because they did like this for some reason. I don't understand what is with this TV. And then of course we have the antenna jack, which of course is DTV capable. And then you're gonna look on the model number here. So this is an LC195SLX. Okay, this is a pretty common model, and I got this for $10. If you can kind of see, like right down here, $10. I got it for a very cheap TV. They had another 19, so it was like $50. I was like, and they thought it was brand new. I was like, that's not brand new. That's older than this one. But it had other parts. So, but this is from 2010. So this one is approximately 12 and a half years old. So, anyway, we are gonna go ahead and turn it on in just a sec here. You just turn it around completely. And being that this TV is so lightweight, obviously you can just like see right here. But I'm gonna put it a little bit closer to this side here. Okay. So now, while they're being so far away from the thing, we are gonna do it here. Okay. So let me just plug it in. I'll go ahead and look through it a little bit. Okay. And no, it's not on. It just puts the green light on as soon as like you do it. Okay. So now we are gonna turn it on. Now keep in mind, I have no remote controls for this, so I will be able to do it that way. Have to just do it this way, I guess. For now, until I get that remote, but see, it says digital television. Now, right now, I have it on PC input since that's what I last used it on, but gonna change it to HDMI 1 since that's probably what I'm gonna use it on, but we could at least cycle through inputs here. So, component, video, and we have analog channels, and then back onto HDMI 1. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna look through the menu settings. So we have picture mode. Obviously, of course, as soon as I got this, like all the other ones, I changed every single one of the settings. So we pretty much go past that. We have sound, which we could go over to equalizer, which obviously I have not changed that because I don't feel like I need to do that. I don't feel like sound size need to be really changed. Unless, of course, you have some volume leveling or some stupid surround mode on that I really hate. We have channel, which you can obviously do an auto scan, but obviously if I did this, then it would of course mess up everything. So obviously, see, it's right there. And we go down one, and we have like detail. Now this is like all the yellow options. So we have close capture, child lock, PC settings, energy saving mode, location, and code software info. What we are going to do is we're going to go down to code software info. So this is just kind of like the firmware that is on here. And you want to go on language. We have obviously 3 main languages that you would use if you have a TV like this. These are the 3 most common languages. TV manufacturers really don't put like 5,000 languages on them. But anyway, we are going to look at connect the Roku up. we're gonna see kind of what she looks like on here. So, right now, as you can see, the Roku is on here. Now we are gonna just pull up the color bar pad I've been using this whole time. I don't. Roku's kind of a strange spot, but it was in such a strange spot that I was actually made to show you the remote control command. So. Okay. Okay. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the color bar panel on here. So, okay. So we're gonna do the color bar panel on this. Now, it's actually a little stranger with me, but stay with me a little bit here. Okay. Top light. Now, I want you to look at some. So what we're going to look at, again, is the brightness on here. And we're going to look at the color accuracy and the color filter to make sure there's not that much visible on here. Okay. So first thing we're going to look at is the brightness. Now, obviously, you see it looks a little bit too dim, honestly. But if I go to here, and I obviously am so crazy to do this, if I change it from personal to standard, it is the exact same way. But if I change it to sports, you can kind of see it. Now, the reason this is because the fact is that for some reason, there's some sort of like other settings on here that are messing with the thing, aka other picture visualizers on this. Since I don't have the remote control, I really can't change that right now. But honestly, once I get the remote to this, I'll be able to fix this pretty easily. Since then I can turn off the contrast enhancers and stuff. Okay. Now the next thing that we are looking at is color accuracy. Now on the camera it really doesn't do much with this. But as you can kind of see, the red to me looks red. Blue looks... I mean, the red to me looks slightly orangish, but the blue looks okay, and the green doesn't really look as bright as it could be, but again, if I was able to get into, like, the service menu, which I need a remote control to do that, then I'll be able to fix those options. And fix the picture up and make it look better. I see. So, okay. So no, I'm not looking to you. I just want to, because I've done this with 3 TVs already. Have I? Is the recommendation like messed up with like all? No, but those disco lights out here. Okay, so disco lights. I don't need 500 hours of disco lights because that's just gonna flash random colors on a screen. I don't need that. I don't need colors on a screen right now. Okay. So, anyway. Now, gonna just turn the lights back on. And then we are gonna power off the TV and I'll give you my opinion on this. Okay. Now, I just unplug the Roku and we're gonna unplug the TV. We're gonna see what we got going on after this. Here. Okay. Let's move the TV over a little bit. What do I have to say about this TV before I do the review? Well, back then when I first got seen these Sylvanias, they were not really my favorite. I wasn't really fond of them. And the reason why is because whenever I saw them, it had such horrible color accuracy. Probably because these are the cheapest TVs out there back then, but they don't really make them anymore. And it's kind of like all Food Eye TVs that I saw that had horrible color accuracy. The Sylvania COTs were okay. That's if you ever see them. But all Food Eye sets, like the Sylvania and all the other ones are made by Food Eye. I think Magnavox was one of them, and I think some of the others. I wasn't really fond of them. And throughout the years I've seen these, I've actually kind of started to get a little bit more used to them. So, because of that, once I figure out how to change all the settings on all these TVs, because the default settings on these Sylvanias are horrible, once I got the hang of changing the settings on these TVs, I got a lot more. I actually started to like these Sylvanias a little bit more. I mean, now, let's go ahead and skip over to the review part, because that's probably what you're all waiting for. So, what will be IR's rating on this TV? I'll actually give it like a 7 out of 10. And the reason being is because the fact is that this TV doesn't have the best sound, it doesn't have the best picture, but again, it's a lot better than it was by default. The gaming performance is actually really good, being that it's really small. I could travel with it if I ever wanted to. And videos on it seem to do okay. But forget about all that. The main reason I have this is because I'm going to use it as a PC monitor. Yep, I replaced that old 4x3 Dell from 2006 I have. So this is going to be the PC monitor that you're going to see in my videos from now on. So I'm not even going to use it as a TV really. And this is of course my first time playing video games on it, but that's entirely different. Or unless I need like a tiny little TV. But again, if I need a small TV, I have that Samsung. So this one's even smaller than the Samsung. But if I need one with a digital tuner, I'll go for this one. Anyway. And if I travel, I have the Dynex. I don't need this one if I travel. Anyway. So that'll probably be in the end of this video. You're probably gonna see this TV again in the future with my PCs. And anyway, I'll see you in the next one. So bye. And remember, peace out, everyone.